Hi there guys, and welcome to another episode. This is the second video of Millie. Now for those of you that haven't already seen the first video, Millie is my Millie and Fiesta. If you haven't already seen that video, then I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. So go and watch that and it'll talk to you a bit more about what exactly a Millie and Fiesta is. But a short, quick reminder is that she's a very rare car. There are only 3,100 of her made, and now there's only 15 left. Millie here is one of the 3 out of the 15 that are in silver, and the only one of the 15 in left-hand drive. So I'm back with her today in the garage, and the one thing I need to get done before we go off to Elmia. Now the people that don't know about Elmia, that was also in the other video. It's a big show in the middle of Sweden over the Easter holidays, and I'll be there at the restoration show to start Project Millie. Now the one thing I do need to do before we start Project Millie is to start the engine. And the reason for me doing that, although I'm going to take the engine out, in a few weeks time I will be pulling the engine out and everything out of it. But before I get there, at the moment she's in the garage and I need to get her down the bottom of the driveway. I need to get her onto a trailer. Then when I get to Elmia in the middle of Sweden, I need to drive her from the trailer into the showground. So I would like, and it would be a lot easier if the engine runs and I can just drive her in. Now as you can see, she hasn't moved a lot in the last few years. This is pretty much how I got her. As soon as I got her, I put her in here, and this is pretty much where she's been ever since. So that's about it, really. The one thing I noticed when I got her is that the coil was missing. So I've got another coil for it, which I had lying around. So I've got the coil, but that's about it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to fit a set of spark plugs in there. I was thinking about giving her a service, but I don't think I'm going to bother because the engine's coming out. Once I take the engine out, it'll be easier to do, drain the oil off, clean it all up, all the rest of it, without the engine in place. So, but right now, I thought I may as well change the plugs. I can also check the timing on the car as well to make sure that that's not a problem either. And then hopefully we can start her up. So I've been and bought a set of, they are cheap spark plugs. They are not Ford. They will be replaced with Ford, but these are just a set of cheap spark plugs that I got for her. So I'm going to fit them. I think the coil is wired in properly. As you can see, the original coil had round terminals on it, and that one has got flat blades on it. And I think I can take that part off and just put these straight onto there. But at the moment, I've just kind of hot wired it with a couple of wires, and it'll do just to get it started. Bearing in mind, all of this lot's coming out of here anyway. The other thing I've noticed is the battery cable is miles too short. For the battery I've got, I think it needs to be here somewhere, or at least the battery's taller than this one. So I'm going to disconnect this cable and make up a new longer cable for this. So that's going to be done as well today. And at the end of this video, my plan is to start this car and hopefully drive it out of the garage, get it outside, and we can take some nice pictures of it. So that's the plan at the moment. I'm not going to do too much, like I say, of a service on it. You could probably do with the tappet setting because I've no idea when they were done last. But I'm not going to bother with that right now. I'm not going to bother with the oil and filter change. It'll be easier later, so I'll do that later. But right now, I'm going to get these plugs out of here, put new ones in there, and then we can look how the old ones look. Hopefully, they're going to come out. They've probably been in there 1,000 years, I don't know. And hopefully I won't break any of them in the head. So that is the first plug, number 1 plug. It is very black. It's not too bad. It doesn't look all that old, to be honest. That is actually a Motorcraft spark plug. So God only knows how long that's been in there. A bit oily, but as you can see by the rest of the engine, that's not really surprising. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Again, another Motorcraft plug. Doesn't look too bad, a bit sooty, but I suppose I'd expect that. It's probably not been run and got hot, so probably expect that, but not too bad. Again, another Motorcraft plug. Again, doesn't look too bad, sooty, but not too bad. And the last one, another Motorcraft one, and again, sooty, but not too bad. So they don't look actually that bad, to be honest, even though they are Microsoft? Even though they're Motorcraft plugs, I have no idea how long they've been there. They're genuine Ford plugs, at least. For what they cost, I'll chuck in a set of plugs, and hopefully that'll just ease it to start when it does start with a nice new set of plugs in there. Like I say, they're just a cheap set, and I just want to get it running. It's not going to be long, and I will get a proper set of Motorcraft plugs fitted in there anyway. Right, so I've had a quick look on, well, actually on a Facebook group, and I found that they should be between 0.7 and 0.8. I've got some incredibly rusty feeler blades that I need to replace at some point, and these ones are 0.7. So I'm going to go with that. Right, so the way we're going to do this then is we take our feeler blade and we're going to put it into that gap there. Now this is pretty tight on there, so we're just going to wobble the gauge a little bit, and that should push that electrode up a little bit. That gives me a nice tight fit. Might be slightly big, so all we do then is give it a little bit of a tap, and then we can put that in there, and that's nice and tight now. As you can see, it's just biting on there. So that's the perfect gap on that plug. Make sure that the other end is tightened up. That's plug number 1. Right, so that's all of them in there now. I'm going to sort this battery cable out now, and then we can hopefully start to get this engine started. Well, we can see the wing flexing quite a lot there. Didn't think I'd actually get that off of there, but it did. Seems like that's a Torx bolt. Didn't know they had Torx in 1979, but apparently they did, or it's been changed out at some point, but that was a Torx bolt anyway. Right, so that's that cable off. I'm going to make it slightly longer, and then hopefully it'll reach the battery. In fact, looking at it now, I thought it was, with it being 2 cables like that, I thought it was the original cable, but what I can see now is that it at some point has had the flat terminals like a normal, or an old Ford had the flat terminals on the battery, and somebody looks like they've broke it off and just wedged that into a normal round contact on the battery. So yeah, I might have to sort that out. And in fact, looking at the plus cable, it's a pretty similar story there on the plus cable as well, that it's had a flat cable for the ordinary Ford, and somebody's just wedged all of this lot together. So that'll obviously need to be replaced. Right, so the new battery cable's on. It's only a temporary fix, but it's considerably longer than the old one. So we're going to put a battery on here now, see if it starts. Pissed out everywhere. Okay, looks like I have to get some start gas on that then. Well, it started on start gas. Need to get some fuel there now. Well, that was pretty impressive. A couple of squirts of start gas, and she now starts on her own. So she's got fuel to the engine. So that is probably the first start in a couple of years. But it's pretty smoky in here. It's only a little garage, so I don't want to start her too much. We've got one more problem and one more thing to deal with before we get her out of here. And that's that. I need to get rid of a bit of snow. Right, well, that's got an area moved from snow. Incredibly heavy snow. It's like about +4, something like that today. So the snow is really, really heavy. It's kind of compact together. The kind of snow you'd get like in England, where you can make snowmen out of it because it's really compact and wet, but it makes it incredibly heavy to move. But that now means we've got an area we can get the car out. So I've took about that much snow away, which should be enough to get the car out, be able to get around it and take some nice pictures of it in the sunshine. Well, daylight. Right, so the engine's running. The problem is I can't get any gears. As you can see there, I can't get it in gear with the clutch down. While the engine's running, I can't get any gears. So I assume that either the clutch is completely knackered, or it might be stuck in gear, or the clutch light might be stuck somewhere. So I'm going to try and start it with it in gear, and see if it can just loosen the clutch off a bit. So the car will probably jump forward a little bit, and we'll see if it loosens it. If it doesn't, then it probably means the clutch is absolutely knackered, and I'll have to change it when I get the gearbox out anyway. So we're going to try and see if we can free the clutch off. We're going to give it another go with the cart in gear. Right, let's see if we can get some gears now. Right, let's see what we can do. Yes, we've got gears. Right, let's get this out of here then. So what's the plan now with Millie? We've got her out the garage, the engine runs and starts, and I can get the gears obviously. Well, the plan with her now is to restore her. So we're going to take her down to Jönköping. While we were at the show, it's over Easter. The Friday, Saturday, Sunday and the Monday, we're going to start the restoration process. So we're going to start taking her apart. Engine out, gearbox out, interior, rear axle, fuel tank, that sort of thing. And then we'll bring her back up here, get the bodywork done, sort all the rust out, repainted her, and then hopefully 1 year, back to the restoration show, put her back together again, and hopefully drive her back out of the restoration show. So if you want to see more of this journey, then obviously keep tuned to this channel, press that subscribe and the like button, and you'll see more of this restoration project. I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, and bye-bye.